What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Monday Market Open. We are here. Let me make sure the sound is good on the mic. How's everybody doing? It's been a little bit of time. Oh, the mic is really low. Hold on. Oh, no, it's okay. Okay, the mic should be better now. It's at level 80, so it should be good. Look, it's been a while. And last time I saw you guys, S&P was at 370 roundabout. Well, the the market decided that, look at this, 390. We're going to go all the way up to 390. I have no idea what's going on right now. There's all the theorization in the world around why everything's getting better. Personally, I'm not sure if any of it makes sense. Look at this. QQQ was at 260 the other day. Now it's at 294. It's at 268 on the bottom. Now it's at 294. I mean, there's a lot of arguments for why one could say this is happening. I think that there's two key arguments. One is that it's the RSI levels from just a pure technical perspective are showing that it's time for a bounce. The second thing is that the market's oversold. Richard, what's up? Thank you for being here in the chat. David, thank you for being here morning. You could argue that the market is so oversold right now that it's just like that it has nowhere to go but up, which is what one guy in my Discord, shout out to Gabe, who's all in and on margin right now. And please don't copy Gabe because Gabe could be completely wrong, but he is very convicted that we are going to test 450 on the S&P in December. And he kind of walked us through in one of our Zoom calls a really technical analysis to kind of show how this could be happening, which is like, okay, maybe Gabe, maybe, but also maybe not, right? We just have no idea. Now, granted, there are a couple of catalysts that could lead this market to be better. One is a surprise announcement that the Russia-Ukraine war not only has ended, but is starting to come down in a much more sophisticated way. Russia just defaulted on all of their debt. This is the breaking news that came out over the weekend. Does it have a major impact? I don't know. Maybe not. But nonetheless, like it was bad, right? So it's not the best thing in the world. The question now is like, is this war? If this war ends or there's like, let's say all the big news outlets, Bloomberg, media, New York Times, are like, hey, yeah, the war's over. It's not that big of a deal anymore. It's like, now we're back to recovery. Ukraine won. The market's probably going to shoot up on that, right? Because the market's going to be like, well, that removes a ton of instability, and that was a big form of instability. So that's the issue. King Zion, what's up, bro? What's with the 1980s aspect ratio? So the only reason I'm using this camera, you guys, I'm using this camera and not my good camera, is because my good camera was making the stream lag. So I want to test out the settings in the stream before I use the good camera again, because I'd rather it be like this ratio versus it lagging. That would just suck, because if it lags, then it's just such a horrible experience. So let me make sure the settings are actually good enough for the good camera. I don't know, maybe the good camera is so clear and like it's so crispy, it just like does that happen. I saw the Tom's video with CodeStrap and Farzad. It was good. Also noticed YouTuber U is now joining Palantir like CodeStrap is. Ticker symbol U. Yes. I actually have a podcast coming out with ticker symbol U today on his channel. So if anyone wants to check that out. We are starting an exclusive podcast together. It's called The Catalyst. It'll be a fun podcast, me and ticker symbol U. So the first episode drops today on his channel. Cowbell will be coming in 6 minutes. For those who are new to the channel, there is this little bell. If you are not waking up yet, you will soon wake up in 6 minutes. Tesla at 748 pre-market. Elon Musk has not tweeted in 5 days. Let me go here. Twitter, Elon Musk. He's not tweeted in 5 days. So look at this. He's like 0.1 million followers away, 100,000 from 100 million. Last time he tweeted was 7-Eleven, and Tesla ended at 7-Eleven. It was like so esoteric. It was interesting. So Elon hasn't tweeted. That's interesting for Elon because he's tweeting every day, but we'll see what happens. Spotify up to 108 pre-market. Costco 484. Let's check out Home Depot. I haven't seen Home Depot in a minute. Home Depot's 283 pre-market. Let's see the 5-year on Home Depot. Home Depot got to 415 and okay, so that was their run up, and then they got lower. So now they're at the same level they were at around April 9th, 2021. Okay. Quarantine Quartet, good morning, good morning. Amit, seriously, where are you getting your news from? Russia is crushing it. Look at the currency. Look at what is happening to EU. When is Tom going to give me a shout out? Re our $5 Palantir bet. Look, the Palantir stuff, in terms of it going down to 5, I think it's very early to be like, hey, it's okay, you know, it's $10, but everything. I'd rather be conservative than not conservative on this. And for everyone to feel so happy, I think it's a little bit naive that we're out of all the problems. This isn't spreading FUD. This isn't wanting the crash to happen, even though I know a lot of you would love some better prices. This is just saying this market is so unstable. And we're losing 1.5 million barrels a day of oil. Like we're in a deficit. Like demand destruction has to happen. The way that happens is likely a recession. I wouldn't be that confident that we're just out of the blue yet. Now, if we are out of the blue, that's great. And for those who have been DCAing, that is phenomenal. That's great. But to assume it's just purely fine, no issue, I think that's a little, I don't know. I don't think we can say that yet. I loved it when Elon suppressed the stock price. Yes, Elon trying to act right after Bloomberg interview with Qatar royalty. That is true. Elon's probably super concerned with the end of quarter stuff with Tesla. Yeah, I mean, they have earnings coming out next month, right? Yeah, they've got earnings coming out next month. So, and those earnings are not going to be good. I mean, just given the Shanghai stuff, the Shanghai lockdown, they're not going to have the best numbers. And that's not even Elon's fault, right? That's not Tesla's fault. So they've got to brace for that. So if Tesla could get up to like 800 or 850 and then they go back to 730 after earnings, that would be better than staying at 730 and then going down. But who knows, man? Maybe the market's ready to reverse. Maybe it's time to reverse. Bitcoin, it stayed at 21. Now, Bitcoin is dropped dramatically, right? From the 32,000 to 21,000 range, but it stayed above 20. I mean, it was a little bit of like 5 days ago flirting with below 20 grand, but it's flirted with 20. It stayed at 20 and it's staying at 21 as of now. So I think that's also important. Coinbase, you can see it's down about 5% pre-market. That's because Bitcoin was down, but Coinbase has also stayed up pretty strong. I mean, for a stock that is heavily correlated with Bitcoin, it's stayed up decently well. Given everything that's going on. So I think we'll see. Now, imagine the market turns around. The question becomes, so the analysis I've been hearing from certain people is that the market recession crash is inevitable and that is going to happen, but there's going to be a rally before that happens. The rally is likely 450 on the S&P, just based on RSI, technical levels, all that stuff. The recession, I think we're all agreeing is inevitable, that there is going to be a crash. The question is there going to be a crash here or like from these levels, or is there going to be a crash after a big rally? Because then the market's going to like it's almost like you got a second chance at life. Like, you know, you kind of broke even on anything, made a little bit of profit, you take all of it and run because you're just not you're not sure what's going to happen, especially with interest rates rising and if inflation doesn't go down. Now, here's the other catalyst. If inflation goes down, we get those numbers like in 2 weeks in July. If inflation has gone down from 8.6%, there's going to be a very happy market. Very, very, very happy market. Tesla delivery numbers on July 2nd. Okay, very cool. Very cool. I will tell you what will happen with the markets. Let's see what King Zion says. He says, we'll continue to go into September, and then we will have a recession Q4 2022, then war next year, so buy into September, then sell. Thank me. That's not too far off than what one of the guys in my Discord said, Zion. So you should join the Discord. You would get along with him. Tesla will drop 30 to 50% after Q2 results, or do you think Shanghai is already priced in? No, I don't think Shanghai is priced in. I mean, if Tesla was at like 630, 640, maybe, but then if the macro is also really bad, then I think that the Tesla's gone up just on pure algorithms, right? There's not like a reason Tesla's gone up. So we will ultimately see how it plays out. But I definitely don't think it's fully priced in. All right, the market is officially open. Wake your ass up. The market is indeed open, and we are going to see what is going on with this market. Boom. Here we go. What do we got? Decent amount of green. It's hard to find red. There's not a lot of red here. NASDAQ is up above 11 grand. Wow, 11.6. Yeah, look at this. It was at 10.5 last week. 6 days ago. NASDAQ is up. Meta has done really well. It's at 157, 171 now. Meta's doing well. Google, 2,300, going back to the 24 levels most likely. Google's not too bad. QQQ, 296. ARK is hitting back. I sold all my ARK at like 47, 48. So ARK still below the price I sold it under. I think I had like 25 shares or something that I sold. Coinbase at 60, Costco 44. Where's Palantir? Then we'll check the SPY. Palantir's at 10, holding on strong to 10, down a little bit in the market, but let's see how it holds up. I think we're going to know in a good 20 minutes where the market actually goes. 391 on the SPY. Okay, so the S&P, as you can see, let's go 5 days. S&P 500 rises as stocks look six in the rally. Yeah, that's the breaking news I just got. S&P was at 386 last week, so that's when the rally sort of started after it was down at 365, and now it's at 391. That's what we're seeing on the S&P. Man, it's interesting. I mean, look, if it keeps going up, I wouldn't mind seeing some more money in my bank account. That's all I'm going to say. I wouldn't mind it. You guys love the cowbell. Thank you guys for loving the cowbell. I love it. More cowbell fetish. King Zion, you do 11 hours of research per day. Wow, that's a lot of research. I'm happy you do that much research. Amit learned, don't fear the Reaper on cowbell. I gotta look that up as well. My Tesla crypto portfolio is up 2%. Palantir not doing so hot compared to Friday close. Yeah, I agree. Well, look, this is really interesting. What's gonna happen, right? Is this market gonna go crazy bonkers? Palantir is down 3%. Or is this market not going to go? Look, I'm really interested to see how the market ultimately ends up performing this week. I think this week is going to be a defining week going into July. Now, July is always a hot time for stocks. I mean, July, like the market always rallies in July. But one of the things that's happened is that assets have been so depressed this whole year that even a rally is not going to be like to the moon for, unless you got in at some of these bottom prices in May, not even April, because April it was like S&P was at 450. So we will have to see how some of these stocks ultimately perform. Short ARK 57's up a little bit today. AT&T's normal. Shopify is doing a stock split soon, I believe. They're up kind of decent. I mean, they're going to be doing this. I think it's like coming this week. Google's I think is also this week on the 29th. So Google will be about $150. We're going to see how it splits from there. The bell gave your bulldog such a fright right now. I love it. Going to know in about 2 hours where the market is going. I agree. We're going to know in about 2 hours, to be honest. We're not going to know now. Look at this. Palantir is already down 4%. There's no reason it should be down 4% and the rest of the market is fine, right? S&P is up decently. So, but see, it's like, I think that with correlations, like if the S&P is not up like 2% or something, then some stocks will just go down because they need like the upward momentum on the index to like justify their rise. So again, we cannot be super just like definitive around Palantir. People are like, oh, we're $10. We're here for 10 forever. It's like, well, you could have got it at 980. Like, you know, it's like we just don't know right now. That's why DCAing is probably the best strategy here. Netflix at 188. Now Netflix, there's some breaking news on Netflix. They're collaborating with Comcast and Google to improve their advertising infrastructure. The goal of Netflix, or one of the goals of Netflix by the end of this year, is to build out an advertising system so that when they unleash new content, people can watch it with the ads. One of the things that's so interesting to me is like, what does Google have to gain from working with Netflix on an advertising system? Because if anything, the inventory for ads are going to leave YouTube, for example, and go to Netflix if Netflix has, you know, advertising. Now, I don't think that's like I don't think that's a competitive threat to Google, but I just wonder, does Google make money off helping Netflix? Like, what is the strategic advantage, or Comcast, of being a partner to Netflix to build out their advertising system? Roku at 98, by the way, as we're talking about ads. Because it's like, I'm not sure what exactly is the benefit here. Does YouTube get anything out of it? Unless they charge like a consulting fee or something, which is not like a lot of money. Or does YouTube get like a percentage of every ad that they get to go to Netflix? Then I can understand it a little bit. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Amid breaking, Palantir just put out a new video. Looks interesting. Okay, NASDAQ ready to roll over. Yeah, it is. Look, we're heading a little bit down. Heading a little bit down. Yep. Nasdaq is down 30 points. Okay, so let's go to Palantir's YouTube. Let's see if it pops up on the homepage on YouTube. No, it didn't. Wow. Palantir. Shake my head. Palantir and Swiss Re raking the world. All right, let's look at this live right now. Palantir new video with Swiss Re. Was the description: as the world's leading reinsurer, Swiss Re has been using data to make the world more resilient over 150 years. They rely on Palantir Foundry to help power analysis, generate insights, and deliver innovative solutions to their clients. All right, let's see. This is a new case study by Palantir. Let me make sure the volume is good. Yeah, the volume is good. Okay.
Swiss Re, our vision is to make the world more resilient. For over 150 years, understanding risks has been at the heart of our business. With data...
Wait, let me just reduce my picture a little bit so you guys can see it better. Okay.
And analytics playing a crucial role. We're now seeing growing connected global risks and megatrends. For example, climate change, the COVID-19 pandemic, supply chain complexity, global population increases, how long we live, and cyber attacks, to name just a few. Still, it's a challenge to manage complex data at scale, be able to connect the dots across these diverse data spaces quickly, effectively, and then do something meaningful with it. This challenge fits perfectly to the capabilities of Foundry. In partnership with Palantir, we've built Stargate, a scalable data platform to power analysis, generate insights.
I love these crazy names they have for this shit. Stargate. Stargate, bro. They just have these dope ass names. These companies are like, yeah, if we're working with Palantir, who is named after this orb from Lord of the Rings, we need to have a cool name for our collaboration with them.
Sites and enable real-time business decisions from large, heterogeneous data sets. We like to describe what we're doing with Foundry as becoming a data-connected company. We aim to put information at everyone's fingertips, democratizing analytical capabilities across our business. This means more...
And when he means democratizing analytical capabilities between our business, he means that the most senior person to the most junior person in the company understands their part of the organization, sales, marketing, accounting, whatever it is, in a way that makes like analytical sense, meaning they can interpret, they can have a holistic view of their part of the mission of the business and then react towards that. And that unified data space enables more informed decisions, which, you know, business intelligence in today's day and age is the difference between a company that survives or dies.
Innovative solutions and services for clients, as well as deeper information to steer and drive the business.
Stargate today is deployed across our diverse businesses. It has enabled us to systematically organize large volumes of data across the entire value chain into what we call analytical data models, or ADMs. These ADMs enable our experts, actuaries, and portfolio managers to sift through millions of multidimensional data points and monitor portfolios in a truly data-driven way.
And that's not easy, bro. When he says millions of data points, that's the benefit of what Palantir is able to do for people.
Recently, one of our clients came to us to solve a big challenge. Data needed for an essential report was overwhelming its legacy software and consuming 2 days of claims assessor's time. By deploying Stargate, we cut that to 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Let me hear that again.
20 minutes. Consuming 2 days of claims assessor's time. By deploying Stargate, we cut that to 20 minutes.
2 days to 20 minutes. Wow.
Our ADM has been a huge part of our data transformation in the last couple of years. It's moved us from having a single source of data to having a single version of the data. Everyone's working off the same platform, the same data, the same shape of the data. But the real power for us has been that we can develop sophisticated tools like our climate risk score. This is a tool which pulls together huge amounts of data, needs real computing power in order to work out the likely impact of climate change on a given portfolio. We're all facing the challenge of climate change and rising global temperatures. What Stargate has let us do is deploy this climate risk score for ourselves, but also for our clients, so that we, between us all, can understand the perils of a warming planet and help mitigate or even prevent some of those impacts.
We also know preserving data integrity is critical for our clients. Palantir has market-leading capabilities that ensure we meet complex regulatory and contractual requirements that also preserve the fundamental principles of strong data governance and security. Stargate is more than a stepping stone on Swiss Re's journey to becoming a fully data-led risk knowledge company. It is helping us become a truly connected data-led company, and with it we are making great headway in boosting the resilience of our customers and in the process, society at large.
Boom, baby. I love it. I love it. Now, stock price in the gutter. Yeah, that's a cool video, man. Like, this is dope stuff. Like, it's stuff like that. That's the stuff that made me want to invest in Palantir in the first place. I was like, okay, so if a company goes from 2 days to 20 minutes of value, how much is that worth? Probably a lot per year. How much is that worth for them to switch over to something else? Probably more, so they're not going to switch. So now, Palantir just has to get the world to be like, hey, we can reduce this shit from 2 days to 20 minutes. You should give us a shit ton of money. And if they do that, they win. And that's my thesis. And my thesis has not changed. So now see, that video is awesome. I wish Palantir would just take like $5 million and put ad spend behind that video or videos like that so that the entire world can see that stuff, right? Like, those videos are great, but let's look at their views, bro. They need like people to like watch this shit, bro. This is the beauty of YouTube, right? Like 48,000 subscribers found these people organically. 7,000 views on the Trafigura launch, 100 views on this, 7,000 on Gotham Europa. I'm not thinking of Palantir as a content creator, right? Because views or whatever. I'm thinking of them as like, out of these 6,000, 7,000 people that saw this video, out of the, 5,000 people that are going to see this video, how many of them are decision makers that would see that video and be like, I need to evangelize Palantir to my decision maker in my company and get them to buy it? How many of those people are watching? That's the question. I mean, think about this YouTube channel with me, right? I only have 13,000 subscribers. I average maybe 2,000 to 3,000 views a video. Not a big channel, but the people that watch actually care. The people that watch deeply care about the content. Palantir down about almost 5% on the day, by the way. Oh, S&P down almost. S&P's itching towards 1%. And the people that watch these videos, they actually care about the content, right? And they interact with it. So it's not always about how many people that watch. It's about who's watching. And sometimes you need to have more and more people watching to get the quality of people who are decision makers to actually see the content. So I'm always curious, when they make these videos that look like they take months to make, highly edited, interviews, all that stuff, are they making sure those videos reach a really good sizable demographic? Because if I was them, I would take a couple $1,000,000 and just put it behind the video and let YouTube like literally boost it out to the entire world and just target it effectively and try to get people to watch these videos because they're great videos. Amit, you have a cool name, mate. It's Can You Learn to Speak, my guy? Their videos are great, but so many of them don't get a whole lot of notice. Yeah, I agree. And I hope they're not hoping organic discovery on YouTube is going to do it, because Palantir doesn't work within the YouTube algorithm. And I could consult them on the YouTube algorithm if they need some help on that. They're not there. Tesla went from 750 to 730, so we're seeing the market retract a little bit. I knew I should have sold calls against Palantir. Can't stay above 10. Well, a lot of stuff can't stay high, and that's why I was just like, when it went to 10. That's why the podcast I did with Sachin and Chris, I was like, all right, Palantir at 10. Do we buy this or not? And I, for 1 second, didn't like buy it theoretically. I'm like, all right, this is not like real yet. Well, that's because I don't buy the whole market. It has nothing to do with Palantir. Erwin says, realized 20% gains with Snow, didn't sell completely, but going to take advantage of this volatility. That's great. To get 20% in this market, that's phenomenal. That's not bad at all. Been trading Roku back and forth, short-term calls at 70, short-term puts at 90 at 100. Been pretty profitable. Yeah, I could imagine. Roku's been stuck in that kind of chamber, especially the past 2 weeks. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think that Palantir video was great at the end of the day. I just hope they get more views on this. Let's go to CNBC. Let's go what's going on there. And let's go to YouTube CNBC. And let's see what's happening. So someone says, Ken Lagone thinks the U.S. is already in a recession. He's the owner of Home Depot. I might want to see his thoughts. Blah, 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 blah. There's another one I thought I saw. No? Okay, let's go to that. Let's go to that one. All right, let's see this. Owner of Home Depot. By the way, this guy, Ken Langon, he wrote a book called I Love Capitalism, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? I Love Capitalism. Yeah. This dude really loves cap. Look at this title, bro. I Love Capitalism. Talk about a guy who's like, doesn't give a fuck. Like, that's hilarious, bro. Blah, 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 blah. Someone said, why are they making the videos? Well, the goal... See, this is a really good question but for Palfi. Why is Palantir making videos? And all the stuff Palantir can do, why are they making videos? Well, they're making videos for one reason. Let it not be confused. They're making these videos for one freaking reason. They want other people to watch them. It's the reason all of us make videos or all of us make content. And that's why I spent a little time kind of analyzing, like, I hope they're actually trying to get people to watch these videos. And on YouTube, unless you're a content creator, YouTube's not going to organically give you hundreds of thousands. Like, here's the thing I want to talk about real quick before we get into the video. How much of an asset is it to a company, a brand, a startup, anything that has 100,000 YouTube subscribers? What is that worth? And 100,000 engaged. Let's say at least 50% of them check out your videos, or 30% of them, right? You're getting average 30,000 people at least checking out your videos. How much is that worth? That's worth a lot as an asset. That's worth a lot. If Palantir had 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and 30,000 of them were checking out each of their videos versus like 5,000 or 6,000, that theoretically can drive more business. I don't want to be naive and say YouTube views are going to like be worth millions of dollars. But I am saying that they need distribution for their ideas, just like anything that's trying to do anything relevant in the world. And if you need distribution for your ideas, you need a lot of people following you. It's very simple. How do you get people following you? Well, you either work with the algorithm and you make a lot of content, or you pay for it. And Palantir has the money to pay for advertising, so they can push their videos in front of more people and get more subscribers. I've never seen them really do that, or else their videos would have more than 5,000 views, right? So my point is, if you have that much of a following and that much of a following cares, you might be able to convert them. And so the reason they make these videos is for the asset of the following, but it doesn't seem like the following is really there, at least from a social media perspective. So I guess we'll see. Hopefully those videos take off more.
You think inflation's bad now. Think of what would have happened if BBB had passed. Just think of how much more money would have been thrown
He's talking about Build Back Better, the Joe Biden infrastructure plan.
under the fire. How much more gas? So I'm very concerned. We're a great nation. We always will be. We're going to make sure we stay great if we can pull all the divergent parts together and say, let's work together. You don't get everything you want. I don't get everything I want. But together, we'll have more than we have right now. And that's American. That's when we're at our best. When we pulled together as a nation in World War II, we whipped anybody's ass who came in front of us, okay? Why? Because we were together. This pandemic, where if you wear a mask, you're one party. If you don't wear a mask, you're another party. I mean, how petty do we get?
Yeah.
If masks were the thing to wear to deal with a pandemic, wear the mask.
Right.
We've now concluded that we can measure people, or measure people for what they are by things they do or don't do. That's wrong. Let's address it. Look, I put this on every morning. We are the greatest nation on earth. There'll never be another America, ever, ever. Believe me. And I'm passionate about that. That said, if we don't address the enemy within is our divisiveness. If we don't address that, our future won't be as bright as it would be if we did. So
I agree 100% with you. I agree with going back and tracing this back more than 2 decades, and it seems to get worse every year. You would think that there would be a common enemy like COVID that we could all unite around. That seemed like it could have been a World War II moment. Where else do you find a common threat, a common enemy, something that makes people put aside their differences and say, yes, we agree with each other on these things. Let's celebrate that.
You start with a common point of view. I mean, for example, go back to inflation last year. I didn't conclude that this chairman did what he did, or I should say didn't do what he should have done.
Fed chairman.
Because he wanted to get reappointed. That's unfair. I have no way of knowing it, and I shouldn't reach that conclusion. On the other hand, I can understand people connecting the dots and saying, hey, wait a minute. Look, a guy that I think gets it right better than anybody else, more than anybody else, is Stan Druckenmiller. He and I talk every day. And last year, we were both saying how insane it was that we weren't addressing the issue of inflation. I saw
That's true, man. We let it run.
it in our truck leasing business. I saw it in our food distribution business. You could see it in the consumer's spending habits. used cars are selling for more than they sold for when they were brand new. I mean, that's insane. So all the signs were there, and as I say, the safe course of action would have been to say, maybe it's transitory, but we're not going to take the chance that it's not. And we'll
All right, we'll stop that there. Let me address some comments in the chat. So Kyle says we need to address the divisiveness. We all should not build good infrastructure for the next. Yeah, I think it's not about him saying infrastructure is not something we should build. It's more so a question of the timing, right? Because I agree with you, Kyle. Like, I wasn't opposed to the Build Back Better plan as well, because like the infrastructure for cleaner roads, bridges, more green energy, I'm all for that. I mean, I guess you could say I'm biased. I'm 24 years old, but I think that's a good idea naturally. The problem is like the timing of it. It's just like, you did it after a huge stimulus pass with interest rates aggressively low and inflation aggressively rising, but assuming it's transitory, asset prices through the roof. This is when ARK was at like $160. So the timing for it was just not reasonable. I think Biden either could have gotten the stimulus thing or he could have gotten the Build Back Better plan. And he picked stimulus because they ran on that in the campaign, so you couldn't go against that, which I understand. But you can't have your cake and eat it too sometimes, especially when the macro is just not going to be friendly here. So I think that's why he's talking about inflation in that respect. What's up, Amid Jeffrey? Hello. Palantir is down 4%. That is correct. Social media ad spend would have worse return on investment for B2B companies compared to B2C. Good. This is going back to my Palantir point. Look, it's not about social media ad spend. It's about awareness. So, like, the reason people advertise on social media to reach other people. That's it. Like Palantir advertising on the Wall Street Journal to me is not different than Palantir advertising on YouTube. The only difference is on the Wall Street Journal, you're assuming like financial people read that paper and that's why you want to be there. Cool. On YouTube, you can target financial people like CFOs. You can do that on LinkedIn, all that stuff, right? So the targeting I think is more advanced and it's more visual, right? It's like a freaking video. That's cool. Versus like a full page ad in the Wall Street Journal that says our software helps kill terrorists, which is what they've done before. So I'm like, okay, that's cool, but like is that, I don't know, is that going to drive business? Maybe it does. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the YouTube video doesn't. But I think it's worth at least trying, right? I'm sure they have the money to do that. So like I would try to do that. Okay, people ask about Money Talks in the chat. I said this last week. For those who are new here, I will not be on Money Talks anymore. That is now official. Everything's good with me and Tom. In fact, this was not Tom's decision. You guys all have to check out the new podcast we made called Can You Learn to Speak My Guy? It's such a stupid podcast, but it's so stupid it's funny. If you want to get a break every week from, we're at 1.2K. Okay, this video hit 2K. We did the podcast yesterday. If you want to get a break from stocks and stuff, this podcast has nothing to do with stocks. It's just fun stuff back and forth, so you guys can check it out. I'm not on Money Talks anymore. Look, it wasn't my decision. It wasn't Tom's decision. I didn't even share the screen. Fuck, my bad. Here it is. Can you learn to speak my guy? There it is right there. So that's our new podcast together. Oh, wow. You saw the screen go crazy right there? It's because we're a mess together. That's what happens. I wonder if that shows up on your screen as well. Now, look, I'm not on Money Talks. I'll let them explain it. It wasn't my decision, and it wasn't Tom's decision. Let's just say that. So that's where we're at right now. That's all I can say about that. So for those who I think they're going to do it like 2 times a week. That's the channel. So if you guys want to subscribe to them 2 times a week and check them out, then you can do that. But I'm not on the show anymore. And to be honest, it gives me some time to do some other stuff because I do have a startup for those who... Oh, no, I was on the main area. Then I switched. Oh, wow, I'm an idiot. That's so dumb. Okay, now we're back to the main area. I like you on Money Talks. It's a great pod, my guy. Well, Money Talks just lost a viewer. Yeah, look, I'll let them explain it. Tom and me are very cool. In fact, he called me last night at 2 a.m. and we had a really funny conversation. It's not Tom's fault. He was trying to make sure this actually stayed. He thought we had a really good thing going. I did as well. But things happen, Things happen. And I'll let them explain whatever happened. So that's that. Now, granted, I have a startup. I have a shit ton of stuff to do. So it actually isn't the worst thing in the world because it frees up my morning to do a lot more stuff for my own startup, which requires a lot of work. So I've got a lot of stuff to do. Which, by the way, if anyone's interested in investing in the startup, I know we're still in a down market, but you can invest for as little as $100. We're using a crowdfunding platform. Email amit@dailypalantir.com. The startup has nothing to do with Palantir. It has everything. It's a technology company. Tom Nash is investing in it. We have some other cool YouTubers investing in it. Startups are risky, but if you want to at least see the pitch deck, see what it's about, and give a little bit of money if you're interested in allocating some of your portfolio there, definitely email me and I'll get you all the information. Public crowdfund will be launching mid-July, around July 18th. So that's when everyone will be able to see it. And I'll be doing like a 24-hour live stream answering questions about it. So we'll talk then that day live. Okay, let's go to CNBC's website. Wall Street layoffs likely ahead as two-year hiring boom turns to bust. Now, there have been some pretty big layoffs from some companies. Netflix laid off another 300 people. Coinbase decreased their amount per commission for influencers. Like, if you drive traffic to Coinbase, they like gave you a commission for people who sign up. They reduced that from like $60 to like $3. They were playing $60 a lead. Now they're paying $3 a lead. They're like, yeah, we can't afford this shit anymore. When things happen, like the entire economy just adjusts to this stuff. The entire economy. United Airlines pilots to get raises of more than 14%, 8 weeks of maternity. Okay, that's good. That's not bad. We're getting some price ranges. The union representing United Airlines pilots approved it. Let's go to UAL, bro. I haven't seen you. My sister has a big position in UAL. She bought it during COVID. And she's up on 37. Yeah, I think her average is like 32, maybe 30. This is a $90 stock before COVID, and I think we can get back there one day. We're just going to have to see one day. Did he FaceTime you from the shower again? No, he didn't. Wow, that sucks. Probably won't listen to it anymore. Love the dynamic, but without you, I'm not sure I need to listen to their opinions. Yeah, man, look, I love the show. I thought the potential of it was huge, but, things happen. You're busy with your business, so you need the time. Yeah, I mean, it did take up a significant time in the morning. I'm not going to lie. So that did help. Just apologize for the Fight Club comment. Unfortunately, Fight Club was not the reason for this. That was not the reason. Let's compare how Palantir has done since lows compared to Peloton to make you feel happier. Good luck with the startup. Let's go to Peloton, bro. Thank you for that, Kyle. I appreciate it. Peloton's at 1070, bro. Do you guys remember when this shit was 171? Like the 234 people that are here right now, who was thinking of buying it? Because I'm not gonna lie, when it got to 90 and I saw it go from 170 to 90, I was like, I should buy this shit. I was like, fuck, $90? It's not bad. Little did we know, like, if you bought this at a 90, if you bought this at $50, you're down to $10. Like, Peloton is one of those companies we're gonna look back on like good. I hope they make it through, to be honest. Honestly, seeing Peloton go to 20 is not that crazy. Like an arbitrage of 100% from here, it's not that crazy, especially if we have a massive bull run. I haven't gone deep into their financials or anything, but just like the pure momentum of it being carried by the market, you could say that could happen. I mean, same thing for Palantir, obviously. Palantir is doing better than Peloton's doing better than Palantir right now. That's so sad. I wouldn't buy Peloton though because it's just so scary. Like if things get worse, it could go down to like $4 or $5, which also could be Palantir. Money Talks is one guy pretending to stay awake, another guy talking way too much, and no one really saying anything. Damn, that's a good analysis of the show. I'm back to watching YouTube videos about Peloton when it was 150. Man, it was wild. Holy shit, people got wrecked. Justin probably didn't like your rhymes. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't my decision, it wasn't Tom's decision. Well, it was someone else's decision. And again, I'll let them explain how the decision came down. But it wasn't me or it wasn't Tom's decision. I'll just say that. Look, anyway, it's okay. I don't want to sound like I'm salty about it because honestly, I'm being very honest here. Like, it frees up a lot of time in my day, and I have a lot of other stuff to do. And like, that show was awesome. I loved it. But if they want to go a different direction, then that's fine. I got a lot of other things to do. But I do want to let you guys know because I know the show had a decent following. People really liked it. So I guess you guys deserve to hear it from me as well. Apple at 140. We thought Apple would get to 125, which was the previous resistance and support, or the previous highs, resistance and support. And now it's back to 140. Apple, I saw this good article yesterday of Apple products. Oh, yeah, Bloomberg. Let me see if it comes up. Here's the word. Apple is gearing up to launch a flood of new devices starting this fall. So that we have a lot of stuff coming in play, right? We have iPhone 14 device, 4 iPhone 14s, new iPads, 3 Apple Watches, several M2, M3 upgraded Macs, a pair of refreshed AirPod Pro buds. I don't know. Who has AirPods? Put it in the chat. Who actually buys AirPods? Please put it in the chat. Who buys them? Who buys them? A new HomePod and a new spec boosted Apple TV. I don't use AirPods because they don't really fit that well, and they're like I like regular headphones, to be honest. I used to have AirPods a lot in college, but I don't use them anymore. But let me know who has AirPods. So we have a lot of products coming in. Now, Apple stock has been depressed. I think Warren Buffett's still been buying a lot of it. This lineup of what they're going to announce, they're really getting ready for like their next leg up in terms of hardware, because they've been pretty stagnant, I would say, for the past year and a half, which it's kind of, you can't blame them. I mean, they've innovated so much already. So we're going to see a lot of the stuff they introduced at WWDC implemented in all this hardware, and we're going to see how that impacts the stock. Because when you have these many things coming, M2 Mac Mini, M2 16-inch Mac Pros, M2 Ultra, also the headset in early 2023, we're going to probably see iPhone 14 Pros, new 6.7-inch 48-megapixel cameras, new on-display Face ID monitors. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming. We're going to see how the stock price reacts to that. We're also going to see if the consumer is resilient enough to buy these things. That's also true. The newer AirPods are better than the old ones. Is anyone listening to me right now on their AirPods? That's like kind of cool. The AirPod Pros, they never felt right in my ears for some reason. They always felt like a little weird. And that's why I never wore them. I'm going back to wired. My AirPods are rubbish. Yeah, I agree, Rad. Like my AirPods, I've had like 2 or 3 pairs of them, and for some reason the left one and the right one, they always like die out or something. It's like so annoying. The wired ones, honestly, I'm like, this works. S&P at 388, it's staying solid at 388. We haven't seen the run up to 400. We haven't seen it break through 392. So it looks like that's where we're resulting there. QQQ down from 294 to 293. Might as well just get the QQQ if you want to be exposed to Apple. Yeah, that's a very good point. And QQQ gives you a lot of other stuff as well. Now triple QQQ is like gonna go even crazier if QQQ goes up because it's weighted. It's down today about 1%. So, I mean, when it's time to get bullish on tech, well, no. If you're bullish on tech long term, now would be the time, obviously, to pick these up at cheap. But if you think things can get worse, which, quite frankly, I think they can, then it is a little conservative right now. You want to be a little picky. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Thank you all for joining. Yup, listening to this on AirPod Pros at work. Thank you for being here. I use wired more than AirPods. Find them left at my job all the time by Gen Zers. They could use them. Could have a free pair every 2 weeks if I find the owners and return. I love that. Thank you all for joining so much. I appreciate you guys being here. A bunch of videos coming out today. Look, start to the Monday for the week. A lot of stuff for me to do. I'm sure a lot of stuff for everyone to do. Let's make it a great, great week. We're getting into July this week. A lot of fun announcements going into July. I appreciate all of you guys being here. It means the world to me. Nike earnings. Okay, definitely we'll be covering that later today if that's coming out. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank all 200 of you for being here. I will see you tomorrow, market open, and I'll probably see you throughout here later today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.